All right, after 17 years of meditating, we're going to talk about what I learned, what I found useful for me. This is not to talk about myself. This is so that hopefully you can watch this and get something out of it. You can learn it and apply it in your own life. I don't care about sounding cool. I just want to give you the honest to God truth about something that I have found useful in my life. Okay. Many people make meditation and spirituality a big ego and part of their identity. Run from those people. I never talk about meditating. I do it silently for the benefit of myself, and you should as well. If you have social anxiety, it's one of the major things that, there we go, a little bit better. One of the major things that really helped me in terms of learning how to talk to people as an introverted, shy, really like a regressed person, okay? So for me, there was one big benefit to meditating, okay? And this is the whole point of this video that I'm making here. It doesn't matter so much that you can meditate in your room in quiet and silence. That is pretty much useless. I found it not to help at all. I've taught thousands of people around the world, doesn't help them at all, because then they go out of their safe environment of their room with white walls. They face reality, they face life, and it hits them in the face like a hot sack of bricks, and it's completely useless to them. All that meditation they've done has gone down the window. And there's also people that think, oh, well, I need to meditate before I go and engage with the world. That's a little bit better, but it doesn't seem to help out as much as well. So the gist of meditation is that you can rewire your brain to access higher frequencies and to calm yourself down when the time is right, when you have too much social pressure and anxiety or too much stimulation in the environment, right? Myself, I'm what they call a HSP. Let me move over here. The HSP, which basically means a highly sensitive person, which means I'm always getting feedback of like sounds, lights, different colors. Like it's just really, I have overload of the sensory when I'm around public places. Like I go into Walmart, bro, and I'm like, oh, it's too much going on here. All the aisles, where's the rice? Aisle 17, this is too much. So meditation helps me with this. I found the biggest meditation for myself personally. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what it is because I want you to be able to use this in your life and incorporate it. The biggest meditation benefit is the buffer that it gives you throughout the day. So, if something were to go wrong that would normally tax you, like emotionally or mentally, or drain you, you have more of a buffer. And it's not that you just feel great, but you can then go ahead and make good decisions from a better, higher place. Instead of making a decision from stress or from feeling like you're in survival, you can make a decision from the point of like, I feel great about my life. I feel great about things. I'm going to make the best long-term decision instead of like the irritated short-term decision. Let's get the lighting a little better here, huh? All right, there we go. Black on black. There we go. Brown on brown. So let's talk about the different types of meditation. The first one is just sitting in a room and meditating. Great. I find has the lowest reward or benefit to it. Because like I said before, you get up, you encounter the world, and you're just bleh. Some people meditate in the morning. I find it not to be as useful because in the morning you already had like deep sleep, maybe a good lucid dream, and so there's nothing you need to like flush out of your system. I find the best time to meditate is usually around lunchtime or dinner time. I always forget at dinner, but lunchtime is better. After that, you have what's called like, for example, binomial beats or even yoga. Yoga is a great meditation as well because you're breathing deeply while you're stressing your body, and that allows you to release the toxins in your body. The lactic acid builds up and feel your body, be at one with your body. I found that great, but again, you're in a controlled environment. A little bit better is the Bikram yoga where you're in a hot studio. I found that to be against some sort of resistance that helped me out more. Binomial beats where you listen to like a certain frequency of music or a sound in your ear while you're meditating. That's great. It's supposed to get you physically in a frequency. I don't know if that actually does anything to your body. Have I felt great when I did it? Yes. Did it have a lasting effect? Not really. Like I'm looking at, if I'm going to sit there and meditate for 20 minutes, I don't want to feel great for 20 minutes. I want to feel great for an hour to 2 hours later. Like there has to be a long-term play, a long-term result for the meditation to even be worth it. In my mind, you can look at it however you want to choose to look at it. All right. If I'm looking over here, it's because there's a camera adjustment over here. I want to see how it looks. Make sure it's getting on recorded there. All right. The next thing, what would it be? I think the next most useful thing would be something what my buddies used to do. That he would go and he would sit in Starbucks. He'd order coffee. He'd sit there and he'd stare at the blank wall across the room or a spot on the wall, and he'd look at it for 20 minutes. His eyes would be open, not closed, eyes open, and he would meditate. During that time, people are coming into the coffee place. They're walking past him. There's like dogs that are barking. There's like people in the store like, "Is he okay?" Asking these questions, but he has outside stimulation, which therefore makes his meditation more useful, in my opinion, because he's got that outside stimulation that's going on at the same time. Even the coffee people are like, the work there are concerned about him, and eventually you have to tell them that he's meditating. But the point is that you're dealing with social pressure and people looking at you and judging you from the outside, and I think that's a more productive way of meditating to deal with social anxiety, which is our goal, right? At least my goal. Maybe it's yours too. You share the same goal, and that's why you're here. So I found it to be very useful. The next one to be a little bit better than that, I found it to be walking meditations. So I think there's a few of these you can listen to online. They're really great. Just watch them on YouTube. They're all free. And a walking meditation is where you're feeling the weight of your feet, or the balance and the pressure of your feet change on the pavement as you're walking. And you might take in sensations when you walk that you don't usually take in your life, because you're so caught up with where you're going and what the next bill is that you have to do. So you're walking, you're meditating, and then at some point you'll eventually shift to the feeling in your body and each muscle that's contracting, and then you'll shift into like the smell of the air, which you probably don't think about unless you're going to go buy some food and you're really hungry. Like, it kind of shifts what's going on around you, and you're perceiving life in a fourth dimension while you're progressing and walking through life and going in a direction. So you have to like be in your world, but then also be doing something proactively at the same time, which is amazing because most meditation has you block out the world, but this has you incorporate the world in whatever you're doing. And so you're dealing with your internal world and the external world at the same time, which is remarkable. There's another kind of meditation I forgot, which is that transcendental meditation, or EFT tapping. Those are fine, but I mean, we're trying to build up to the levels that we have. Those are kind of like mid levels, in my opinion, in terms of like their application in social anxiety and learning to communicate with strangers. And then last but not least, the highest one, which I do in all of my live training programs, which are called boot camps, where I go out with people to bars, lounges, and nightclubs. And in the boot camp, what I do is I take them into the dance floor. I find the most chaotic spot in the dance floor. I make contact with them, and I tell them, don't worry, you're going to look strange. People are going to wonder what you're doing. It's totally fine. I want you to just meet me here. Don't retreat into your mind. Meet me in the middle. Connect with me as a person, and we're going to meditate. If you have a book in your nose, that's fine. Allow yourself to be imperfect. All right. And I breathe with them for a count of 3. We do box breathing. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. The same thing in. 2, 3. Hold it. Breathe out. Right. And I do this with my student on the dance floor for maybe a minute or two. And at the same time, he's getting bumped around. He's getting knocked around. People are shoving into him. He's worried. He's like sweating. He's like, I can't dance and I'm on a dance floor. Existential crisis, right? All that's going on at the same time. And then he's processing it through the meditation. And that's what I found to be the most practical. Oddly enough, the students don't do it when I'm gone. They could, but then they're like, oh, I meditated on my couch. I'm like, how did that help you? So yeah, I want to turn you all into superheroes, in your own right. If you're just learning to go out socially and speak to people, which is a lot of my former audience, then this is very useful for you. This will allow you to at least know what a zone or flow state feels like. And if you're somebody who's been meditating for a while, you can maybe take one of these things and upgrade the way that you meditate. And this is just an idea to give you what I've done, let you know my story so you can benefit from it, and to see how you can take these things and incorporate them into your world. And ultimately, I think make it your own, right? And transcend the meditation identity or spiritual identity. It's something that you can do for yourself that no one needs to even know about. You don't have to talk about it, make it into a big thing. All right. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Feel free to share this with a friend or somebody you think would benefit from it, and go and apply this right now. And I'll see you on the next live stream, whenever that may be. I'm trying to do more of these, maybe a 30-day challenge or live streaming videos. We'll see. All right. Cheers.